Hi, and welcome to another Trace Trust Chat. Today, we're going to be talking about how founders can make sure they're prepared for their next pitch event and are ready to raise their next round. So, let's just start with basics. What's the first thing folks need to do to prepare for a pitch event?
So the number one thing you need to know is who your audience is. You need to know who's going to be there, right? And that can be future investors, it could be industry experts, it can be somebody that's already invested in business like yours, or it can be somebody that's curious about a business like yours. And knowing that audience is important because you need to craft the message to them. You have to be prepared to engage both virtually or in person. That's a very different part of that. So if you're in person, it's easier to read the audience. You have a personal opportunity to speak to somebody, right? So that virtual is very quick, it's very succinct. There's a time allotment, and there could be lots of different faces and people in the room that you don't even know that are there, right? The next thing is how much time are you being given to present? And this is really important because you need to stay in the time allotted. First of all, it's respecting the people that invited you to the event. And it is also showing that you know how to follow guidelines and instructions to the other people that you're presenting. It keeps you on point, right? So you're very clear and concise on the time. And the more you do this, the more confidence you have and the ability to make sure that you don't miss important points when you're going through what you're trying to cover because the details have to be short and smart and rememberable.
So, what do they need to have in their slide deck?
So you're going to probably have different slide decks, but they all need some basic information. And the reason there's different slide decks is because you have different timelines that you're going to be able to present to, and you're going to have different audiences. And there's a difference, as we said, if you're doing something via email or you're doing a live event or you're doing it virtually. But most importantly, all need to have a cover. Hello, this is, me. And they also all need to have a thank you and contact information. But the stuff in between is very clear and not a lot of slides. So who you are, about your company, what problem there is, how you're solving it, how you fit into the marketplace, who your competitors are, any success stories to date, one slide that covers your revenue and your business model, right? How are you going to make money? How are you going to pay me back? They want to see how that's real. And then what you're asking for. How much money do you need? How much money are you raising? And then what are you going to do with that money? Those are the most crucial things that you need to have in the deck.
So, once they have those slides ready, what comes next?
You have to create a script. Script becomes not only your story and your storytelling, but this is what's going to keep you on your time. This is going to match up to the slides that you're presenting, but you have to get through that first. And so you want to, outline, right? Start crafting that script. And don't worry about time. That's not where you're at this point. Right now, it's just about making sure that you clearly, address each of the things that I've laid out. Um, and that you're able to match that with the slide and you can tell a story even if you don't have the slides, right? Because we all know things go wrong and you might not even be able to use your slide deck at the time that you have to present. So you have to get ready for that.
So, even though you start off not worrying about timing, you do have to stay within the time frame. So, once they have the script, how do they get their timing right?
When you start working on your timing, it becomes practice, right? That practice, those run throughs really get you clear on what you need to do, right? So you want to record yourself practicing. And many of the softwares that you use to create your presentation generally have a presentation part on there that allows you to time it and go through your slides. So that helps you identify where you're dragging words, things you might have to change because it's too challenging for you to say it that way, where you're spending too much time and losing time and not conveying very quickly what you need to get across, where the slide might have too much information. So all of those things give you places to edit and cut till you get it into that time frame that is allotted to you.
So, when they're practicing, can they just practice by reading through the slides or do they need to practice out loud?
No, you have to do this out loud. And the other thing about recording it is you can put it up like on your TV and watch yourself, but you want to practice out loud. And then you want to, maybe get some of your friends and family to sit there and listen to you. You want to bring some members of your team in so they can make sure, hey, why aren't you talking about this? This is so important, right? They catch a lot of those things. And then you might want to practice with advisors, mentors, or even some of your current or past investors.
So besides having the script and the slides, is there anything else that folks need to get ready for?
Yes, you need to be prepared to answer questions because people are going to have questions for you. And the most common ones to get ready for, like, how do you know this works? How do you know there's a market for this? How is this different from what's already out there? How much money are you raising? Where does your revenue come from? How much does it cost to make money? What is your runway? And what is your plan if you don't raise enough money? All of these things become really crucial to somebody that might want to know more and might want to invest.
This was great. This is a great introduction to how to prepare for your, pitch event. Let's quickly give folks a recap.
So the best pitches for success come from preparation. Know your audience. Respect the timeline that you've been given. Be sure to cover the most important things about your company. Be sure to cover clearly how much money you're asking for and what you're going to use that money for. And then practice, practice, practice. You've got to just over and over and over till it's second nature to you.
And of course, if folks are watching this and they feel like they need support getting ready for their next pitch event, message us here on LinkedIn or at our website at tracetrust.com. Great chatting with you, Merril.
Thank you. Bye.